Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Magic with Zuby. My name is Zuby, and if you're brand new to this show, the show is all about a little well-known podcast called Magic the Gathering. I almost said the podcast name, Magic with Zuby. But anyways, today we brought on none other than Amy, the Amazonian. And we brought her on to talk about streaming, magic, content creation in general, what it's like to stream and be a Twitch partner, all that kind of cool stuff. But before we get into the interview, just need to say a few things. You can help support this show by going to the show's Patreon at patreon.com/magicwithzuby. You can find me on Twitter at magicwithzuby, on Instagram at magic_with_Zuby, and you can find my TikTok at mtgzuby, and you can email me with any questions you may have at mtgzuby@gmail.com. And we have one quick little ad for Magic for Normies, and we are also sponsored by cardsphere.com, the best place to buy, trade, and sell your Magic singles. So, without further ado, here is Amy, the Amazonian. I think, yeah, that way. And that is how you beat the latest standard meta with Abzan.
Ugh, it feels like there's no Magic content out there for someone like me. Someone who doesn't want to be competitive. Someone who is...
Who is a normie?
Yeah, exactly! A normie!
Well, have I got the show for you, the all-new Magic for Normies show.
Hi, I'm Pixie.
And I'm Zuby.
Together, we host the all-new
Magic for Normies.
It is the Magic the Gathering show for all your normie needs. We don't care what deck got into the top 8 or what deck is winning. We care about having fun playing Magic.
That's right, Pixie. You can watch us on Pixie's Twitch channel at twitch.tv/PixieKittenPlays and catch the VOD on our YouTube channel, Pixie Kitten Plays. If audio is your thing, you can find episodes on the Magic with Zuby RSS feed.
Magic for Normies.
Hey everybody, it's Zuby here, and I have with me the amazing Amy, the Amazonian, with me, a Twitch streamer extraordinaire. How are you doing this fine afternoon?
I'm very, very cold. We've had an entire day below freezing, and I have been drinking tea non-stop to keep myself warm.
Oh,
what are you
dang.
doing?
Dang. Where are you at? Oh, you're in Boston. That's right. Wow. So I'm down here in Florida, and it's like freaking hot today. It's up in the 80s for like the first time in, I gotta say, like a month and a half, I think.
Can you share some of that? Like we can split it down the middle. Like we can both have 50 degrees. I feel like that's fair.
Oh yeah, because 50 degrees for us is like absolutely freezing. We're dying when it gets
and for
to
us,
50.
It's like, oh, t-shirt, sandals. It's summertime.
Yeah. So that is that's interesting. How long you been up in Boston for?
Pretty much my entire life, excluding a 3-month span where I lived in Seattle.
Oh, okay. I don't hear too much of the common Boston accent or anything.
It's a myth.
Is it really?
People who live in Boston and live in the suburbs. There's like, I used to know a guy named Peter from Worcester, and you got Mark from Revere. But like most people just have this generic Northeast accent.
Yeah.
And I think that because I've been streaming for so long, I've tried to make myself more understandable, so I have even less of it.
No, I definitely recognize the Northeastern accent. I've got, on my mom's side of the family, they're all from Maine. So I hear that like Maine accent that sort of comes out. Like, we're going to go to Bar Harbor for something, or go to Bangor. Stuff like that. But so you're a full-time Twitch streamer, and how long have you been doing that for now?
Just about 2 years.
Holy crap, has it really been 2 years already?
Well, okay, 2020 was like 10 years in a row,
Right.
and also 5 minutes. Just at the same time, I feel like my birthday is in March, just happened, but like also it's about to happen. And also it happened an eternity ago, and I don't even remember it, but I have the memory of the memory.
Yeah. So you've been doing that 2 years now. How long did it take you to get to partnered and all that?
So I hadn't actually been streaming on Twitch for too long. I want to say 5 years or so total.
Mm-hmm.
I have been streaming though for about 15 years. And I
Oh,
had
dang.
not made a full-time job out of it until the last 2 years. It's just been a hobby of mine. And really, with Magic Arena coming out, I was able to turn this from a hobby into a hobby that pays, into a
Yeah.
hobby that is now my job. And it's tough. Like it's a very cutthroat industry. It's very tough to make it to the partner level. And even if you get
Oh, yeah.
to being a partner, actually making enough to afford rent is an entire stage beyond that.
Oh, no, I definitely want to get into some of the nuts and bolts of that, but you're saying you've been streaming for 15 years. I guess some of my question is, what have you been streaming for that long, and on what platforms too?
Back in the day, the only kind of streaming that existed was just, it's called just chatting now, but it's where you have a conversation with people and one or more people would be on a webcam, and webcams at the time were like 180p maximum, and
Oh, yeah.
bandwidth couldn't really handle that, so it was super choppy. It was only a couple frames per second, but it was this interesting way of communicating with people online. I started off on Stickam, which no longer exists.
I don't think I've ever heard
kind
of
of
that.
like Justin TV.
Yeah, I remember Justin TV.
That's what Twitch used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been a long time though.
Oh, wow. Stickam. I've never heard that one. But
Yeah,
then
and when I started on Twitch, before Magic Arena came out, I just streamed whatever I wanted. Cooking, sure. Dancing, nice. Minecraft, let's do it.
so you did a lot on Justin TV then?
Very little. It ceased to exist around the same time as Stickam.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I remember I did Justin TV because around the time when that was becoming a thing, I was super into StarCraft and trying to stream StarCraft back then. And back then you had to have a really good computer and all that stuff. Not like, I mean, you still have to have a
Oh
good
my
computer
gosh.
now, but it
But
was,
like XSplit was terrible at
Oh
the
my
time, and all
gosh,
the
yes.
other capture programs.
yeah, there was like no OBS at the time yet, and it was horrible. So I didn't really get that much into streaming till I want to say like 2015 or so, but I don't do it enough to try to warrant going full time. I enjoy the podcast way more doing it.
Oh, it's gotta be fun. Doing content creation for entertainment value is a very nice thing of you to do. And I hope that you enjoy making it as much as people enjoy listening to it.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I've been going on. I love doing it. I've been going on since 2016 with the podcast, so it'll be 5 years next month. I think.
Happy half a decade of Magic with Zuby.
I know, right? I didn't even think I'd make it like 3 months into this. And now it's 5 years later doing it now. It's crazy.
Aw, I think that's great.
Yeah, no, I love doing it and get to meet awesome people like yourself and talk with so many other people of the community. So when you're talking about streaming being cutthroat as it is, that's been a topic that I've been bringing up in some of my past two guests of how streaming and content creation is a relatively new field in terms of it being a sort of viable career and all that. But for you, who's like in the thick of it right now, you're full time. Like, this is your full time job here. How do you manage a lot of the worries of it from month to month of how fluctuating it can be, because you don't get like a steady paycheck in a sense, you know what I mean?
Well, I have what I hope to earn every month, which is enough to live on.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the amount I actually make every month. And it fluctuates so much that I would say I am very lucky to have had a savings account that I put some money into when I was working as an engineer before I started streaming. Because some months it's like, oh, I can't even afford rent off this. And other months it's like, oh, damn, getting takeout tonight.
Oh, man. So you mentioned you had a savings account like that, and that's good. I'm glad to hear that. But when you're looking at the just sort of financial aspects of it, how long do you see yourself trying to do this? And I'm not like trying to like downplay or anything. So yeah,
No,
yeah.
I have the exact same thought. The answer is until I can't do it anymore. This is the most fun I've ever had, and I feel that it's very rewarding getting to talk to people all day, having opportunities like this to talk with you. It's fantastic, and I couldn't do this if I were continuing my work as an engineer.
So, no, I'm glad to hear that. So, that seems to be a common thing that I've heard from a lot of people. It's like just as long as they can do it, as long as it's viable. And is Twitch your primary source of income right now?
It is.
Okay. Okay, so when you're a Twitch partner like that, are you able to, like, without, I guess if you can't talk about it, are you able to get sources of income from other avenues with the stream?
Like I take on sponsors.
Okay.
Usually it'll just be a company will reach out to me. They'll be like, hey, do you want to advertise our game on your stream, or do you want to partner up for this big promotion we're doing? And we'll negotiate rates. If it works out for both of us, awesome. That's another revenue source.
Okay. So they don't hamstring you into like this is all you can do. Like you can have your own Patreon, like a YouTube channel if you wanted to as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think there's something about if you create content on Twitch, it has to be only on Twitch for 24 hours before you want to put it on another hosting service like YouTube. I think that's part of the partner agreement, but it takes me a day and a half to do any video editing anyway because I'm so busy that it's not like that's going to happen.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's like I didn't know about any of that stuff. So another thing that I want to ask you is you just and it sort of perked up my ears here. You mentioned being an engineer. What kind of engineer were you?
Oh, mechanical engineer. I made human robot interface safety systems with Amazon before I moved into full-time streaming.
That sounds awesome.
It was a lot of paperwork.
Oh, paperwork. Okay.
That really somebody else probably should have been handling instead of me, the junior engineer who's like, I don't know. I just tried to imagine how I would get hurt. That's how you design a safety system. You imagine yourself as like the most inept possible person. Imagine just like if you were drunk, you didn't sleep very well, you wander into a machine and you find all the places you can hurt yourself.
Interesting. Okay. So
very real scenario.
No, I believe you, but it's just okay. So what is that even like? So you're building these safety systems. What are these like being built for exactly?
You can find actually videos online. If you look up the Amazon warehouses, the ones that have the robotic systems in it, I believe it's just being called Amazon Robotics right now.
Okay.
It was the station. I was a stations engineer. One of, well, depends on the time. It's like one of three, I think, at the time that I had left.
Oh, interesting. So what do you have to, like, how do you get into a field like that? Like, what kind of learning and studying does that take?
Well, I never learned anything about robotics in college. I have a mechanical engineering degree because I was enrolled in mechanical engineering by accident. And I don't, when you're 18, like, you don't know what you want. So I was like, yeah, sure, this is the same. I don't know. What's even a difference? I didn't have an advisor in high school, so nobody told me what the difference between engineering was. I was like, I know engineering is like a good field. I heard that in the media, so I'll just keep doing that. And worked for Amazon for a year, not as an engineer, doing audio work for what is now Echo and Alexa.
Oh, that's cool.
And yeah, I was Doppler at the time. You can find out about the history. I was part of the Amped team. Fun. And then I applied into a job with this robotics team and got it.
That sounds pretty cool. So did you have to do and learn a lot of programming or anything, or?
I did no programming. I'm a mechanical engineer. I work in the metals and plastics of the world.
Oh, okay. So it's the actual physical stuff that you're like getting your hands into. Okay.
I made like the blueprints and the machining templates and tons of CAD.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Okay. That's it's pretty awesome. So did you get to build a lot of your designs that you like made on your job, or?
Yeah, I would either like send them out to a fabrication shop, or I would like very quickly try to prototype them myself. If I was trying to figure out a physical thing, either I would do it digitally, or usually I would like make a paper cutout and be like, okay, does this fold fit right here? Yeah, it does. And then put it into
that sounds
digital.
Awesome. So are you is that something you'd be able to fall back on if you wanted to?
I don't see why not. If somebody looks at my resume and was like, "What did you do for the last 2 years?" It's like, "I played video games for fun." And they'd be like, well, most of us did that for half of those 2 years. Thanks, 2020. You made this a lot more manageable on a resume."
Sweet. So do you apply any of those mechanical engineering skills to anything you currently do today?
Not so much the engineering skills. Having a good background in like statistics and math does help, but having a strong work ethic really helps manage my streaming life. I have a tight schedule. I try to respond to emails quickly. Everything along those lines it's all about being a working professional, and that's what I am.
So you mentioned a work ethic. What is that? What does your work-life balance look like right now with full-time streaming?
Oh, it's terrible. It's like work 80 hours a week and then try to like combine things like chores and exercise. Like, all right, well, if I walk to the supermarket and carry 40 pounds of groceries back, that's kind of like going to a gym, right?
In a sense, yeah, almost. Yeah. I mean, you're doing cardio, and then you could weightlift the groceries.
You got the arms, yeah. I got the biceps. You can't see it because I'm wearing like 2 sweaters now.
It's too cold right now, so
it's too freaking cold.
So that sort of makes sense. So that is one thing that always kind of surprises me. Like when I talked to Professor back in the day about when he started doing full-time YouTube, and just the work-life balance he had just seemed a bit crazy. And I assumed that streamers had to be the same way. Do you ever still have the FOMO of even being a full-time content creator right now, where if you feel like you either take a day off or maybe you're not streaming at that time and place right now, do you ever feel that you are, missing out on something, not doing enough?
Of course, I feel like I should constantly be working. I have to set a limit for myself, but it's not a fear of missing out. It's a very real interruption in schedule causing lack of viewership. I took a 1-week break at the height of my streaming, and I lost about 40% of my audience. And
That's
never
crazy.
got it back.
That's crazy.
Never got it back. And you know what? I love everybody who stuck with me. You guys are the best. But to everybody else, I mean, you miss out, not just on the people who had like maybe integrated you in some of their like day-to-day listening habits, something like that. You also miss out on the algorithm, because Twitch and YouTube and everything else has a recommendation algorithm. And if your content isn't being put directly in front of people, they might not see it. And as much as you can try as an individual, you can advertise yourself. I've never done it, but I'm sure you could like take out an ad. You're kind of at the whims of those recommendation engines.
So, I mean, I'm pretty familiar with the whole YouTube algorithm. I've seen that go back and forth. Talk a little bit more about the Twitch algorithm. I'm not familiar with that or anything.
Neither am I. It's one of those things that is not well known or discussed. It definitely seems like it just organizes people for the most part based on, this is a game that you have watched other people play, and this is a top streamer in that game. Probably prioritizes partners because it gets them more revenue. But I don't actually know. And I don't actually think anybody does outside of Twitch.
Interesting. Yeah, because I think you're one of the first people I've talked to have like really discussed a Twitch algorithm, but it makes sense.
We know there is one, just don't know what it is.
Yeah, no, it makes sense because I know when I'm, first loading up Twitch on the left-hand side, I see, and for majority of the time, it's all Magic streamers that I see being recommended. And I guess I never thought of that being a quote-unquote algorithm, but it makes sense.
It's like you like Magic. Cal time, almost out. Pretty exciting.
Oh, it is. It is getting
1 week away.
So by the time this comes out, Kaldheim will already be released for it as well.
Oh, nice.
So are you pretty excited about Kaldheim?
I'm excited to have some new cards to play with. There's a lot of, I'll say, janky cards. The one I revealed, Masquid Nexus, helps enable a lot of combos that previously were being done with arcade adaptation, but now it's a lot easier because you don't have to splash blue for one card.
Right.
And giant tribal. Angel tribal's getting some new stuff. Looks like Party is also getting a couple new cards. So that should be good. That should be good.
Yeah, that is one big thing that I have found pretty boring. Like I don't play as much arena as you do, but when I do like try to do the daily quests, like I have just found standard and historic absolutely mind-numbing right now. Even trying to play jank decks, I'm like, you're going up against the same crap over and over again.
You like Dimir Rogues? How about Esper Doom? Are you a fan, perhaps, of Gruul aggro? Well, then Standard hasn't changed in 2 months. So it's all the same 3 decks. And like a couple of people are like, mono white, mono green. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
A little bit. I want more.
Yeah, I mean, how long have you been playing Magic for now?
About 11 years. I started in 2009, my freshman year of college.
So that would have been around M10.
Yes.
God, what else?
My first deck really shows that, because the first deck I ever built for myself was a Soul Sister deck with a Johnny's Pride Mate.
Oh, so awesome!
That is the M10 deck, and it worked great. And people hate it. They still do. You can build almost the same deck now, and people do not like playing against it.
Oh yeah, because for the longest time, life gain was just crap, and now it's like really good sometimes. Like if you can't find a way to stop the life gain, you're like, guess I die. But so I guess as someone who's played a lot of Magic for a long time, I want to ask you: have you been playing a lot of Standard since the beginning?
Nope. I had never played a game of technically Standard until Magic the Gathering Arena. In fact, the only format I really knew was Commander, and then Kitchen Table Magic for like, hey, this is a pile I threw together. Doesn't have 60 cards, but it's whatever. I think I've got no more than 4 copies in there. I don't know what sets they're from. What are sets? What's a block?
Right.
Get out of here.
I kind of miss those days sometimes. I kind of miss the days of being ignorant of just slapping together some cards and just playing.
I think the Commander precons really helped me get into Commander.
Yeah.
That first set where they released them, like I got all of those either as gifts or I bought them for myself over time. They were great. I still love Kalia. Kalia of the Vast is one of my favorite decks.
It's so good. It's so good. The only one I played back then was Zedru, the Jeskai one.
Zedru? Yeah, the goat mama.
Yeah, that was my first time ever playing an EDH deck, and that was just... I didn't really know what I was doing at the time, but when I first saw like the deck, I'm like, wait, why would I give people things? And then I'd start reading the commander, I'm like, oh, that could be really good. Oh, you could give them bad stuff. Oh, your wheels just start turning. But so you've been playing Standard since about when Arenas come out. What have been some of your thoughts on Standard recently? Like, especially the trash fire that was 2020 with all the bans and...
Well, Omnath sure was a card that got printed somehow. And...
Oh my god,
yeah,
how?
It's been so tricky to like even keeping track of how the meta has shifted because of the bans, rather than just like because of cards coming out, because of people really solving things, figuring out the meta. And I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of these cards that it just feels so bad to either play against them, or they just probably shouldn't have existed in the first place, or they were designed for Commander, but they ended up in Standard. So we all kind of had to deal with it. Like Kenrith is definitely a Commander card that ended up in Standard, and it had these Fire stack. And
oh god,
Fires of Invention had to be banned because these dang cards were too good, especially with all the Planeswalkers. I think my least favorite cards to be printed were probably this is 2019 technically, but like Teferi Time Raveler.
Yeah,
we got that guy going on. We had Agent of Treachery with all of the Blink cards.
Oh god, yeah.
That was rough.
That was because that wasn't even really a card played until Thassa came out.
Like Thassa and Yorion, and suddenly it's not just one card being stolen, it's a card being stolen every turn. Yeah,
disgusting. Oh man. And just think, if there were no Standard bans right now with Kaldheim about to come out, think there'd be Oko, Once Upon a Time, Omnath, Fires, Companion would still work as normal. It's kind of scary when you think about it.
I still think companion should have been changed so that the amount you pay isn't 3 mana to bring it from the sideboard. It should be the CMC of the companion. So us Lurrus players are still paying 3 mana to bring it in from the sideboard, but those dang Yorians should cost 5 to bring in.
God.
I want to nerf everything into the sun.
God, it's
That's
just...
not true. I've had a lot of fantastic games of Magic. In fact,
Oh,
at
yeah.
the start of the Oko meta, I'll actually bring something on camera that nobody else will be able to see.
Okay.
Except for you.
Yeah, so if anyone's listening, Amy is pulling something out here.
Description. Once I'm able to find it. Oh no, where is he? Where is he?
Is it like an Oko doll or something, or?
It is an Oko. Oh, I must have moved him into the other room. I have a framed Oko. He moved around the house sometimes. I thought he was over here. So I have a framed copy of Oko that was foil that I got during pre-release.
Oh, nice.
And he was beautiful and adorable, and I loved him. And you got to remember, Oko wasn't being played very much right away because everybody was on Golos Field.
That's right. That's right.
I built Sultai Food, almost the exact same list that we ended up seeing at like GP Richmond, and I'm just here playing Oko. He's a terrible little boy. Everything is Elks, and then Field gets banned, and everybody starts creeping in on this, and I'm just sitting there with like my very handsome planeswalker, like, no, please, please, the meta's already bad. We can't have this happen.
Oh, man. So I still remember when I did a set review of Throne of Eldraine, and when it came to Oko, my first thoughts were, this is a terrible card. Like, no one's going to play this at all. Like, that was my first thought. Like, it's not good. It's not good. Oh, crap. It turns out to be pretty damn good.
Combination of the food synergies being so strong, the 3/3 elk hitting your opponent's creatures, the fact that he just has so much loyalty that he's almost impossible to get rid of because we had almost no like targeted removal for planeswalkers.
Yeah, we didn't get any targeted removal till like a few sets later, and then by then it was kind of useless because he's already banned.
It's like we have Murderous Rider, but like that's double black pips.
But that was
running that.
That was really it at the time, though.
Yeah,
there wasn't too much else.
It was rough. So anyway, Oko was a monster. Turn 2 Oko with Gilded Goose as a double monster.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. I'm giving you the flashbacks now.
Oh, man, yeah.
So Oko got banned, and then Adventures, Fires, Adventures,
more.
Yeah,
Fire.
Even with Cowtime coming out, because I've done a full set review, the power level of it is not too high. There's a lot of nice aggressive pieces for the decks. These very spicy sagas, but they don't seem to fit in super well with the enchantment stuff from Theros. I'm pretty sure that Adventures would still be the top deck if adventure pieces weren't just banned out.
What adventure pieces got banned out recently? Am I forgetting something?
Clover and Escape to the Wilds.
I completely forget. They got banned with Omnath, didn't they?
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Suckers.
Oh god, like who thought Omnath would be a good idea? Like,
why does he draw a card? Why does he draw a card, gain life, mana, and deal damage, not just to face, but also to planeswalkers?
Right? It's also, when you look at him from a commander card, you could literally make Omnath with a commander deck and you don't even have to have much synergy. You can just play just really decently good commander cards and just take over the game.
Land-based ramp. Congratulations, you built a deck. You want to put some landfall cards in there?
Right, that's about it.
Cool. Just put all of the copies of Omnath. Put all 4 Omnath in a deck with a bunch of lands and like cultivate effects. You're done.
Yeah, because even the other Omnaths, like besides Locus of Rage, I mean the mono green one's pretty good, but like the 3-colored one, it's good, but it like wasn't that strong though. Like you could take care of it easily.
It was like a fun card to play with Risen Reef.
Yeah, I enjoyed that elemental deck that was going around for a little while. I thought it was fun. It could get out of control quickly, but when they started,
but that's what made it kind of obscene.
But oh man, yeah, it's God. You just got to think like, as much as I love Wizards and like I love a lot of the sets that come out, it's just I really hope that Kaldheim just doesn't break something again.
It feels like a very fun set. I'll
It
tell you
does.
that it seems like it's going to be a cool set that I wish we had some other lower power sets as well in standard to kind of balance things out so it
Yeah.
would make a bigger impact. But yeah, it feels like it's kind of between power level of Theros Beyond Death and Ikoria. Not as much synergy. A lot of these cards are not reliant on each other to be good, which is nice for just, tossing them into deck building.
Yeah, true. What do you think about my favorite card out of the set is, I want to say, Varigoth, the black demon that whenever attacks you can boast and tutor.
Oh, the boast to tutor. That one seems so wild to me. That seems like one of the strongest cards. Same with Bergie? I'm blanking on her name.
Bergie, the red god?
The red god who gives you mana refunds when you cast spells. And
that seems so much fun in Commander.
It seems pretty good to me.
And I love it on the flip side where you discard a card and you can exile the top 2 cards of your library.
I think it's the top 3, and then you can cast them until your next turn.
Yeah, ridiculously good.
Yeah,
like
some nice stuff.
I'm gonna get a copy of her in my Torbrand deck in EDH. So,
no,
because Torbrand, Mono Red always has trouble drawing cards eventually because you can just pop off quickly and then or just top decking after a while. So that'll be really good. Like I'd rather play the artifact side more than the god side. Just to start, I'm gonna discard, keep going through my deck. Boom, Citadel of Pain. Boom, Fiery Emancipation. Just all the punishing cards.
I also noticed that there are some white weenie cards in the set. So, I don't know. There's also a new board wipe that can happen on turn 3, but there is a bunch of sweet new white aggro cards.
There is. What are some of the ones that you like?
I saw there was there's like a 2/1. There's one that's potentially a 2/2 just for 1 mana. These are just cards. I can't remember the names of them. Some of them have boast effects to help you go wider, get bigger.
Yeah.
All of these together, that was just like, oh yeah, we need better turn 1 plays from Mono White Aggro. Not from Mono White Life Gain. We already have that, but from Mono White Aggro. Also, Angel Tribal is getting a whole bunch of stuff, which is it's like a pet deck in Historic for me, but I think it's fun.
Yeah, I had like a little Mardu Angels deck in Historic. I called it Thick Angels. It was great. With Lyra, Aurelia, what's the Orzhov one with Afterlife?
I know which one you're talking about. Seraph of the Scales.
Yes, that was really good. The other thing I'm also looking forward to, because I have a Pauper and a Peasant cube in Arena. And so I'm excited about Kaldheim coming out, see if there's any additions I can make to it. Especially some of the uncommon sagas look pretty damn good, too.
Oh, yeah. Some of the uncommon sagas are better than the rare. For
the
same color.
Ridiculous.
Color pairs. I feel like the sagas are actually going to be the strongest and hardest part to play around in draft. It's going to be like what bomb sagas do you get early, then you just pick supporting commons and uncommons to support that saga, hoping that you get it.
Oh, I'm excited to draft this. That's one of my favorite things. I will say, besides the broken standard, Wizards has done an awesome job with a lot of the draft environments.
Oh my gosh, right? Like, I feel like it's independent, because most of the things that break standard are like either you don't really care about them in draft, or they're just like super bombs, so you just hope somebody doesn't get it. It's like the sets would be perfect without them. But like everything in the past year, Eldraine was amazing. Ikoria,
I liked Eldraine.
I love Ikoria. Some people don't like it
as
much. Zendikar Rising I thought was fantastic. Theros, like, these are all great draft formats, and I love playing all of them, and that's why I've like shifted. Some months I'll play almost entirely draft. This month I have almost entirely played drafts.
Oh, nice. I have to say, Zendikar and Ikoria were probably my 2 favorite sets to draft from last year. Theros, I was kind of bored of Theros. Like, it felt too. Maybe I had bad luck.
Grindy sometimes.
Very grindy, and M21 was just. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was just kind of run of the mill.
The problem is that M20 was so dang good
Yes.
that M21 just was like, oh, come on, bring back Risen Reef.
Yeah, just it didn't feel like I wouldn't say it wasn't bad. It was just okay. Like I felt like I've
Been
played.
better.
I
Wish
felt
it
like
were a
I've
little better.
yeah. I felt like I've played better core set drafts. Like M14 and M15 were some of my favorites.
But nobody wants to like set up their board and then there's Ugin and it's like, oh,
Oh yeah.
well, there's no Planeswalker removal. What am I supposed to? Okay, I guess I just leave.
Guess I die.
Yes, I die.
God, that's right. Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot he was in M21. Ugh. Like, I'm so glad he got reprinted.
Why did Ugin get reprinted? I don't like him. I'm glad that the price got driven down a little bit
Yeah.
for people who wanted to play him in other formats, but could have put him in Commander Legends or something. Come on.
Or yeah, Commander Legend for sure, or maybe a precon or something.
Yeah, something like that.
You know, because when Ugin came around the first time with cons of Tarkir and all that, he was
too slow.
way too slow. Like you would have to ramp super hard and leave yourself open to like any kind of Abzan attack with Siege Rhinos before you could even get Ugin out.
Siege Rhino rules.
I know. I love always asking people, you know, who played back then, you know, how Siege Rhino was like the boogeyman of the format. Like he was the worst of the worst card. Like how could they print something like this? And then you look at current cards printed in the past 2 years and like, oh, Siege Rhino's like nothing.
So cute and so Abzan, and
I know.
And then you have Questing Feast.
Right? I know. You if Siege Rhino had never printed back then and they tried to print it now, it'd probably be an uncommon at this point.
It'd be a really nice card in draft.
Oh,
but it's
yeah.
in 3 colors, so
Well, they could have
hard.
They could have printed it in
Mono
Ikoria.
Oh yeah, making a mutator.
Oh god, that'd be gross. Every time
it mutates.
Oh, lose 3 life, gain 3 life. Oh.
Yes.
That'd be gross. Oh god,
Move it.
never mind. Siege Rhino's fine where he's at.
Lotsy print it.
No, please. Yeah, well, no. I was just about to say, I could play it on my mutate deck, but it's Sultai. I've got the Otrimi Sultai deck.
Oh yeah, the commander one, the precon.
Yeah, which I thought they hit it out of the park last year with the Commander precons for Ikoria. Did you play any of them?
I didn't. I believe I skipped those ones. I did build some other decks around some of the cards because, like, I had the Garrett deck and I ended up doing some like Atla Palani stuff, and I was, you know, working on supporting that and trying to make silly egg decks.
Oh, the Atla Palani is cool.
Atla Palani is so cool, and with the new Maskwood Nexus, everything is an egg. It's so much funnier.
Oh god,
Everything's
that's
an
right.
egg.
Oh no.
Yeah, your creature dies. You
No.
like chaos warp to the next creature.
No, there's a
Yes.
Yes. one of my patron supporters, he loves playing Atla Palani, like loves making all the eggs and populating the eggs, and oh god, I didn't think of that. All of his creatures are going to be eggs now. Fuck.
Well, there's also a new populate card.
Which
sort
one?
of. There's the cat chariot.
Oh, that's right.
It's like, it's not actually populate, it's like pseudo populate.
Yeah. Oh god, I forgot about that. Oh god.
Lots of good new tokens.
Yeah,
Token making.
be a lot of fun, neat little stuff. The other thing that I really took or got me about Kaldheim was a lot of the art as well too. Like
Are you into Viking stuff or metal stuff?
Not really into Viking stuff, just more I like some of the more metal aesthetic. Like a lot of the showcase cards were friggin' awesome and amazing looking. Have you seen the new Village Rites art?
Yes. Oh my gosh. So first of all, Village Rites, what a good card to introduce into Magic. That's one of those cards that's like the perfect power level. We absolutely needed something like this. Way to sacrifice my card and just be like, oh, you were going to kill my creature? Sweet. Card draw. I'm going to do that instead. And then, like, this new art for it is so cool. And there were a bunch of, like, the, various funeral depicting cards in the new set are so nice.
Oh man, yeah, I need to get that new Village Rites in foil. Like it just looks so good.
It's a common. You should be able to find it.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's one of those decks. It's one of those the card art where whatever I have it in like my EDH decks, I got to replace it with foil of that art because it's so great. So you've been playing. So you're mainly a Magic streamer. Do you get to play any other games or anything or?
When I have time, yeah, I've played some Breath of the Wild this week because it's a fun game.
Oh, nice.
Trying to think if there's anything else. Occasionally, when I can't sleep, it'll be like 4 a.m. I'll play Teamfight Tactics or League of Legends, and I also play Legends of Runeterra on stream and off stream too, which is the League of Legends card game. I'm sorry, Riot Games has like a slight love in my heart, probably because I've been playing it for 10 years, all their different games now.
Oh man, is it even worth it to come back to League of Legends? I haven't played since like 2012.
I only play it when I'm sad. So no.
So
it's like 4 a.m. People ask me like, "Oh, can I add you on like to friends on Runeterra so like we can play card games together?" It's like, no, because I don't want you knowing when I'm playing League of Legends at 4 a.m.
They're all connected. Yeah, okay.
They're all connected.
Oh man. So I mean, what's League of Legends like nowadays? I mean, I just remember it being like super toxic back then and just.
Oh, see, I never play ranked, so that really helps. And
I never played ranked either. It was just always.
People can be just so sweet. Like you can like hop on sometimes and be like, "Hey everybody, good morning. What's everybody got? You got like anybody have coffee?" It's like. It's really chill. Sorry about the misplays. Occasionally you'll get real like salty sailors who just only want to win. But usually people are like, yeah, whatever, man, it's a video game. Who cares?
Yeah, true. And what do you think about Legends of Runeterra? Because I've seen a lot more people start playing that.
Good card game. The fact that it runs really well on mobile and on computer.
Oh, it's on mobile too?
Point. Yeah, it was designed for both mobile and PC. But it's a very flavorful game. It definitely doesn't have quite the depth of gameplay of Magic, but it is still like instant speed interactions. Every game feels like a mid-range game. So if you are a fan of mid-range, then that's probably a good game for you. Tons of combat tricks and interesting creatures with cool abilities. I like it. I think that it's a really well-designed game, and it makes sense because they have a lot of play designers that used to work on Magic.
Oh, that's cool. How do you feel it compares to something like Hearthstone? If you've played that,
it is so much better than Hearthstone because you're not stuck until like, oh well, you're druids, so you can only play these druid cards, and they're all really, really honed in, and we just kind of kept pushing the power level because for Hearthstone we didn't have too many more ideas. Let's also like actually free to play. So like. Magic Arena is more free to play than Hearthstone.
Really?
But Legends of Runeterra is like, hey, are you willing to put in a little bit of time for the grind? Not a ton of time, like a little bit of time for the grind. Cool, you can get a full collection. It's not like Arena where like you're gonna end up buying packs and you can build a bunch of meta decks, but you won't have a full collection just because of the sheer number of cards there are. Yeah, I mean, I got a full collection. My boyfriend and I were both grinding on the same account, and then I partnered with Riot, and they were like, "Oh, do you need us to load up your account with wild cards?" It's like, no, I already have all the cards. I think I spent like $2 at one point because you can buy cards outright, and they all cost the same at the same rarity. I was like, I think I spent $2 for a Teemo once, but we don't talk about that. It's a dark time.
So I've seen some gameplay of it. Like I'm pretty ignorant of how it all works, but is it similar to Hearthstone where you have to pick a champion, like how in Hearthstone you pick a class and you can only use cards for that, or?
Nope, it's like Magic in that you pick colors instead, but since there's no colored mana, instead you're limited to up to two different regions. Regions are a lot like colors in Magic.
Okay.
And then within the region, you can play up to 6 total copies of champion cards. And champion cards are like these special creatures that have extra abilities. So you can have like 3 copies of one and 3 copies of another for 6 total. They all have to be within your regions. That kind of restricts the deck building because a lot of those cards are the build-arounds.
Okay. So do you also... What kind of formats are there in Runeterra? Is there any kind of limited format, or is it just all constructed?
Oh, there is. There's something called Expedition. They give you like a couple free entries into it if you just play the game. The rewards for it, they nerf those a little bit, but it's still pretty fun. It's sort of like the Hearthstone limited. What's it called? Arena? I want to say it was called Arena.
Yeah. It was called Arena. Yeah.
So you pick from these selections of cards, and it will give you similarly synergetic cards in pairs of 3. Pairs of 3? I don't know. Groups of 3. And you get to choose from them. And it's really fun. I like it a lot. It definitely, there's certain archetypes in it which are so much better than other ones. Like people who watch my stream and see me do it, they're like, oh, Amy always tries to go mushrooms. It's like, yeah, because mushrooms are gonna win. If I have 8 Puffcat Peddlers and the limit's normally 3 to a deck, I'm gonna win.
No, that sounds good. So that does sound similar to Hearthstone's Arena with their draft. So you don't draft in a pot or anything like that.
Nope. You draft against a computer, and then you play against other people who have the same win and loss rate. And then, like, as the wins go on, you get to, like, make trades from your deck, or you get to add new cards and new copies.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so, like, if you get 1 win, then you get another, like, pick from the champion pile. So you get to get another champion piles like that. You get another win, same thing happens. If you get a loss, you also get to make, like, more picks or trades. It's pretty good.
So how many losses can you have before you like have to start a new one?
Well, this is where it gets fun. So it's called 1 expedition token, or you can buy into it with whatever currency you want in the game. Then you have 2 runs, and that's 2 separate decks. And then for each run, you have up to 7 wins, and you don't get booted out until you get 2 losses in a row. So let's say you lose your first game, but then you win a game, then you lose a game, then you win a game, then you lose a game, then you win a game, then you win a game, then you lose a game. You're still in it on just the first deck. And then whatever your record is for the first deck, if you're not happy with it, you start a second one.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Even if you go 7-0, you can still start a second one just because, hey, you want to play more because it's fun.
That's
also pretty awesome. If you enter 3 times a week or 3 times in a week, all your future entries for that week are free. You just don't get rewards for them other than your win and loss rewards.
So with awards, well, let me ask you this. Are the cards that you pick in...
They're Phantom.
They're Phantom. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. I mean, I guess that makes sense because I guess you'd be able to build up collections pretty quickly that way if you did it like that, because they do that in Hearthstone as well too. So now it sounds fun. I've been meaning to try it. Like I hear from you. Who's the other one? Wait, Chantel. Chantel.
Oh, yeah, I've chatted with her before.
Yeah,
I think she's also been doing some Runeterra.
Yeah, I've seen her play it, and it looks fun. I just need to get off my butt and play it.
Yeah, it's on phones too. Like, so if you have a smartphone.
Yeah, I had no idea. I had no idea it was on phones either. I've been hooked on Animal Crossing again lately.
That's a good time sink.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's been a pretty rough month personally. And that has just been able to calm me down. I haven't been wanting to play any games that have been stressful lately. So that's like the perfect game to just relax. Okay, I'm going to go fishing for an hour.
You don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to really think about anything. It's just like, I'm going to chill around in this little spot. There's no time limit.
Going to build my island.
I didn't catch that bug. That's cool. I'll catch another one later.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. Have you played that?
Yeah, I've played a bit of New Horizons, I think it was. Yeah, I played a bit of it. Something that was upsetting to me when I first got the game, though, was that everybody playing on the same Switch has to be on the same island. It's like my boyfriend started an island, and I'm just like, I really want to do all this stuff, but you're already doing it.
Yeah, that was annoying. That because my kids got the Animal Crossing first, and that's what I thought I could start my own island. But now I ending up having to buy my own Switch just so I could play it. That was...
What, you don't want to share it with the kids?
Heck
and
no.
They're like, They're like just digging up all your flowers. Like, no, I was
Exactly.
breeding the rare ones.
Right? I don't want them. I don't want to deal with that crap. Or they just start putting random stuff everywhere on the, on the
The
island.
world is your storage.
Right? I don't need that. Man, but I've been enjoying the hell out of that lately. So how's your 2021 going so far?
I don't know.
You don't know.
It's all been a blur. Let's go in. So that's cool. Collab's about to come out. I get getting a new mattress in a few days.
I saw that. I saw that.
I'm excited about mattress.
What kind
so
of
far, like nothing's happened.
what kind of mattress are you getting?
Sleepies? Question mark. I want to say sleepies.
Okay.
Sleepies something something something.
Is it like a cushion, like one like PD? Oh, what is
I
it?
don't know.
Oh, okay.
Tempur-Pedic?
Or Tempur-Pedic, yeah.
No.
That's a just normal mattress.
My boyfriend did the shopping.
Oh,
for it.
okay. So you're excited about Kaldheim. Do you play any D&D or anything?
I have not done a D&D campaign for a very long time, but I'm familiar with it. I listen to like actual play podcasts and stuff like that.
That'd be cool. We need to probably get you in on a D&D game at some point. Maybe even like a Theros or Ravnica one.
Yeah, the only trouble is like
Time.
scheduling.
Yeah.
For like having a 2-hour block for me at a predictable time is extremely difficult. And having one for more than 1 week in a row, even more difficult. That's why I haven't done much D&D.
Well, why is that for you? Is it just mainly due to the streaming?
I'm working nonstop.
Oh man. So is it with your streaming schedule, is it pretty set in stone on when you stream?
When I end each day isn't as set as stone. It's usually determined by like other stuff going on in the day. But like I try to get to 6 hours a day for 6 days a week, and then it goes a little longer on some than others.
So what else are you working on in the background or like behind the scenes?
Emails, contracts,
man.
social media, video making, all that stuff. Is that a kitty cat?
So what kind of advice could you give to people out there who are wanting to get into streaming? Maybe, take it a little bit more seriously, maybe try to make it bigger. What kind of advice would you give them?
Make sure you have a quality stream. And one of the biggest things for that is making sure you have a nice microphone. Like webcam doesn't matter that much.
Yeah.
But making sure that you are audible and that you're speaking clearly and you are being kind to the people who are in the channel. That's pretty big. Also, do not ever stream with the expectation of success, and do not stream if you do not like streaming. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, it's gonna be easy money. I'll just like play this video game because I already do it. And it's like, no, you ding dong. That's not how it works. First you get good, then maybe you get lucky.
So do you consider a lot of like your success luck then?
Oh yeah, it's super luck. It's like once you find all the people who have like a solid stream and are able to dedicate the time to it, then you filter that down to the people who got lucky, landed the sponsorships, and made it big, or just like got discovered through whatever means.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. There's also like, if you happen to be an extremely good player in a game, that's another route. So like if you are a top player and you can stream at the same time, and it is hard to stream at the same time as playing. Yeah, that could be your end.
It is, yeah.
But if you're like, think you're hot shit and you're not hot shit, then it just comes off as like worse. Like, oh yeah, I'm a top mythic player, and like I'll check over the stream and it's just like, you're just net decking and you're in like the 90th percentile. What are you talking about? Get out of here. And it won't like describe any insightful plays. It's just like, come on, get out of here. You're just doing the same crap.
So what really differs, in your opinion, for people who try to find that success? And I know luck is a big part of it, but what kind of attitude or mentality should a person have trying to at least find that success in streaming?
Working hard and like enjoying it. I think that's the big thing, is like putting in the hours is a big part. But you have to like it. If you don't like it, you're gonna get burnt out so fast.
That 100% agree with that part. Is I've tried streaming Arena. There's just so many times it's just I don't like it. I don't like streaming Arena, but I'll stream EDH all day. Because
Doing some top-down webcam stuff.
oh yeah, on Spell Table and all that. I could do that all day. I love that. Just Arena. I try so hard, but I just can't get into streaming it. I'll play it for hours off camera though. Like, because it's just I'm relaxing watching a show on the other screen and not having to think about it. Then I'm not playing rank or anything like that. I'm just doing the daily quest, messing around.
Totally get it. Yeah, and sorry about all the scratching in the background.
That's okay.
Mute my mic in between.
Okay.
That's my cat.
I saw the little cat. What's their name?
That is Scraps McGee, Cat Detective. She is very small and very cute.
Ooh, do you only have the one cat?
Only one, but she's a little hassle, so she takes all the time ever. Also, I spoil the bejesus out of her, so.
Oh yeah,
That's right, Scraps. You get everything you ever wanted.
That's like my 3 cats. I've got three girls, and they're spoiled as all hell. Yeah.
3 is a lot of cat.
Yeah. It was mainly due to my wife. She just wanted cats, and we start off with one, and then she got another like 2 years later, and then another 2 years after that. And I'm like, and I told her like, that's it, we're done. I can't take any more.
I'd hope to get some more cats in the future, but the one is enough for me.
Yeah, especially it was very hard training them on the scratching, like scratch the cat pole instead of the couch.
I just let this cat scratch whatever the heck they want, but we have cat furniture all over the place. Most of the furniture is the cat furniture.
Oh yeah, that's how it pretty much became for us. Because like two out of the 3 cats are really good about not scratching everything, but the one cat, she just doesn't care. She's no matter how many toys or stuff we buy just for scratching, she's like, nah, I'll go scratch this wall instead, tear it up to shreds. Like, you little shit. Why would you? So frustrating. So we're getting near an hour here, and I know that you've got sort of a short time schedule here. What are some other advice that you could give to people for streaming in terms of, one of the things I asked you right before we started was you said you streamed today, 6-7 hours, something like that.
I did 7 hours and hopped right on here about 5 minutes later.
Like, how, for someone who wants to do it, like how do you handle like that long of time? Because it's like, that's a long time. That's like pretty much a full-time job right there. And I know you're partnered and that's something that you have to do, but for someone who eventually wants to get to that path, like, what's some advice you can give them for trying to get over the hump of streaming for a long time?
The main thing you should do is try to aim for 3 to 6 hour streaming blocks. Anything longer than that, you're not going to really see any additional growth in your audience. Anything shorter than that, and you're not going to see much initial growth in your audience. Once you can get to doing 3-hour blocks, something after work, if you're working part-time, it's easier to fit these in. If you're working full-time, it's really tough. I know, because I was working full-time way too much, and also streaming as a hobby for so long. It's a matter of endurance. You just got to be in a nice relaxed mood. Don't try to stress out about it. Try to enjoy yourself. And if there is an additional stressor being presented by streaming, let's say there's toxic people in your channel, remove them, get rid of them. They're going to make this worse for you, and they're going to be scaring off other people from your community.
Is that something you've had to deal with a lot, toxicity?
Oh yeah. But I just stopped letting them try to control anything. I was just like, hey, guess what? Ban button.
Good. It's
easy.
You haven't had have you run into any issues where you've just run into a lot of it, or is it just the occasional? Or
it'll happen, and sometimes they'll be, they'll group together because it's usually not just one lone actor.
Yeah.
But it's something you pretty much have to deal with if you are a streamer, especially if you are a woman or a person of color. I'm sorry to say, but that's how it is in the streaming community. And Twitch does not take much action on it, even though they've made some rules that, if they enforce them, would make it a healthier environment.
Right.
They'd have to be enforced, and it is
Yeah.
hard. It is hard to enforce those rules. They would need a huge official moderating staff and a better report feature.
I agree with that. I hear too many horror stories of just other streamers too, just all the shit they have to go through. Like there was that one. What was it? Was it last week or the week before? The whole PogChamp thing with the what's his name? The Critical Bard or whatever. The amount of crap he went through.
He had a really nice PogChamp too. Come
Yeah.
on, guys.
And
It's
just
a good Pog face.
and the amount of crap he got for it was just
People are rude.
yeah. It's easy to say to develop a thick skin and all that, like for people to say that, but when you're the target of that harassment, and it's not just one person, but when you're 10, 20, 30, 100 people coming at you, I can only imagine it's got to be hard to just deal with that crap.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to turn the stream off. You're the one who's in control, and you should be able to, if you need to, turn things off, figure out where you need to be, and try streaming on a different day.
Well, awesome. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on. I love a lot of the tips that you've given for streaming, and I hope my audience finds it useful, because I know there's people out there who want to try to make it big in content creation, or not just big, but just do something with it. And it's always good to hear voices of all kinds of what they've been through, what they did to get to their success too. And it's always nice to hear different viewpoints from it. Where can people find you should they want to reach out?
If you want to watch me as a streamer, I'm at twitch.tv/Amazonian. And I'm usually happy to answer questions live there. Not so much about streaming. I typically say that if you are looking for advice for streaming, you should probably look up a tutorial, because most people ask me the most basic questions like, what's a green screen? How are you floating in the game? Okay, cool. You should use Google. People have written up step-by-step tutorials for people just like you, and you should use that information.
Oh, 100% agree with that. The other things that I find a lot of people don't understand or know about is not just the streaming or the content creation itself. It's the behind the scenes stuff. There's so much stuff to do, like this podcast. There's so much behind the scenes work that I do just for it. And I'm sure with your streaming, there's a lot. You mentioned there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff, contracts, emails, whatever stuff, events you have planned for it and all that. So it's a lot of work.
Yeah. And having good Google Foo will help you.
Yes. That's how I do my job too, my day job.
Right? Do you work in programming?
No. So I'm in IT. I do networking.
Oh, okay. That's similar. I was gonna say, any tech field, it's gonna be like 80%. There's probably somebody who ran into the same thing, and maybe they posted how they solved it online, and it's just like, all right, we're going to GitHub, we're going to Quora, we're gonna find this.
Right. It's I feel like without Google, I'd be completely without a job. It's like I feel so many times I feel so dumb, and it's like I just Googled half the shit. I don't really know what I'm doing. Which you come to find out that's a lot of people in life.
Right? Don't be afraid that you don't know how to do something. Be more afraid if you can't figure out how to learn it.
Oh yeah, I'll be one of the first people to tell you I don't know.
I don't know. It's trial and error.
I'll figure it out. If I break it, I'll just reverse what I did. But thank you again for coming on. I really appreciate it. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. And good luck with the rest of your streams as well, too. And
thank you.
Are you doing?
January.
Yes. Thank you. Real quick, by the time this comes out, the Kaldheim early access will already be over. But are you doing the early access event too?
I am.
Awesome. So I might see you there.
Nice. Might run into you in the queue.
You might, because I know I'm probably going to be hitting the sealed or draft first before I even do any kind of constructed. So
I always do a whole bunch of I got to figure out these cards, so I'm just going to dive into it. I find starting with sealed tends to work easier, because that way I can see all the cards and I'm not on a timer to pick them.
Right. I know exactly what you mean. So yeah, I might see you there. All depends on just whatever's going on with my day job and all that. So,
Nice.
All right. So hope you have a good night, and maybe I'll see you on the battlefield there.
Too, and have a good day.
Bye.
Bye. Hey everybody, hope you all really enjoyed the episode and really enjoyed Amy's take on a lot of stuff. Be sure to follow her on her Twitter and Twitch to see when she goes live. I'm definitely, I keep saying this, I need to go and really check out Runeterra, Legends of Runeterra, and I keep saying that, and everybody's talking about League of Legends too, and it's like, oh my god, do I even want to get back into that? I don't know, probably not, but maybe. But we'll have to see. But no, I hope you all really enjoyed Amazonian. I thank you very much for coming on to the podcast. Really appreciated you taking time out of your day to come on. And thank you all to the listeners and watchers out there. And have a great day.